bench by the willow tree in the small town of Ashwood, Virginia. There was a quiet park tucked between the library and the old fire station. In that park stood a willow tree so wide and graceful that its branches nearly touched the ground. Beneath it sat a weathered wooden bench, carved with initials of kids who had grown up there, whispered secrets, and dreams of forever. For 17-year-old Sarah Johnson, that bench was more than wood and nails. It was her safe place. The weight she carried Sarah wasn't the kind of girl who fit into the loud, glittering circles of high school. She wore thrift store clothes, carried a second-hand backpack, and rarely spoke unless called on. Most classmates passed by without noticing her, but what no one saw was the storm inside. Sarah's father had walked out when she was 12. Her mother worked long shifts at a diner, trying to keep food on the table. Sarah often looked after her little brother, Dylan, helping with homework and cooking simple dinners. At night, when the house felt too heavy, she'd escape to the willow tree. There, she'd write letters. She'd never sent letters to her dad, to her mom, even to herself. She left them tucked between the bench slats, folded carefully, as if the tree itself would keep her secrets safe. The stranger's note, one chilly November afternoon. Sarah walked to the bench after a rough day. Kids had laughed at her worn-out shoes, and the weight of everything pressed hard on her chest. She planned to write another letter, pour her feelings into paper. But when she lifted the bench slat, she found something unexpected, a folded note that wasn't hers. Curious, she opened it. The handwriting was neat, careful. Whoever you are, I just want you to know you're not invisible. You matter. Keep going. Sarah froze. Her heart thudded. Who had written this? And how had they known exactly what she needed to hear? For the first time in weeks, she smiled. The silent conversation from then on. Sarah began writing notes, not only for herself, but also in response to the stranger. Thank you. I thought no one saw me. A day later, another reply appeared. I see you. Maybe more people do than you think. The two of them never signed names, never revealed identities. They simply left pieces of their hearts beneath the willow tree. Sarah poured out her struggles. How hard it was to take care of Dylan. How much she missed her father. How small she felt in the halls of school. And the stranger always answered, "You're stronger than you know. Your brother is lucky to have you. Don't let the world tell you who you are. You're already enough." Those words became Sarah's lifeline. The reveal's winter melted into spring. Sarah's confidence began to grow. She raised her hand in class more often. She joined the school's creative writing club, nervously sharing her poems. For the first time, she felt like maybe she belonged. But one rainy afternoon, curiosity won. Sarah tucked a note into the bench. I think it's time we meet. Tomorrow, 4 p.m., at the Willow. The next day, Sarah walked nervously to the park. Her heart pounded with each step. Who would it be? Sitting on the bench already, soaked despite the drizzle, was Michael Reyes, a boy from her class. He was the last person she expected. Michael was quiet too, always sketching in his notebook, often overlooked by the louder kids. You? Sarah whispered. Michael gave a shy smile. Yeah, I found one of your letters months ago. You sounded like how I feel sometimes. So I wrote back. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. You saved me. Michael shook his head. No, you saved me too. The ripple effect from that day, Sarah and Michael became inseparable friends. They still met at the Willow, but now they talked face to face about fears, dreams, plans for the future. Michael showed her his sketches, filled with life and detail. Sarah shared her writing, raw and powerful. They encouraged each other, pushed each other to believe in their worth. And slowly, something incredible happened. Inspired by the notes that had saved them, they decided to create a kindness bench. Together, they placed a small box under the willow tree with paper and pens, inviting anyone to write letters of hope for strangers. At first, just a few appeared, but soon, dozens of notes filled the box words of encouragement, confessions, promises. Students from their school, lonely neighbors, even tired parents left messages. The willow tree became a symbol of connection, a place where no one had to feel invisible anymore. Years later, Sarah went on to study creative writing at college. Michael pursued art, but every time they came home for the holidays, they visited the willow tree. The bench was now painted bright blue, maintained by the community, with the words carved across the back, "Acts of heart start here." Sarah often ran her fingers over the carving, remembering the girl who once felt invisible. "I kept going," she whispered one day, standing beneath the branches. "Because of a note, because of kindness." Michael, sketchbook in hand, smiled beside her. And now others will too. Moral of the story: the smallest acts of kindness, a word, a note, a smile can change the course of someone's life. You may never know the battles someone is fighting, or how much your encouragement means. Sarah and Michael's story reminds us that no one is truly invisible, and sometimes the simplest gesture can light a path through the darkest night, because kindness, once shared, always grows.